a gorgeous night for baseball on this Monday night at Miller Park. The Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds open up a 3-game series, and Milwaukee is trying to strike while the iron is hot. Ricky Weeks has swung a hot bat. Don't make him mad, nor Casey McGee. Don't walk the guy in front of him, huh? Brewers a chance to catch up to Cincinnati, one of the surprise success stories in all of baseball. Contenders all season long in the National League Central, only a half game behind St. Louis as they come to Milwaukee and their road trip continues. Hi, everybody. Alongside Jerry Augustine, I'm Craig Kashan. The Crew fresh off a series sweep against the Washington Nationals. They're hot right now. They have won 4 straight. Everything falling into place right now.
I'll tell you what, it's always got to be a combination. When you have good streaks, it's a combination. Good, solid pitching, good, timely hitting, and strong defense. And we have seen that in the last 4 games.
The Brewers trying to go for a season-high tying 5-game winning streak if they can get it today. And home is where the heart is lately since being swept by San Francisco at Miller Park back on July 8th. The Crew unbeaten and turning nasty numbers into beautiful ones, if you will. They'll try to add to that total yet tonight. Well, the Brewers seeing red? Not so much lately. BA and Rock tell us how the Reds have gone from pretenders to contenders in the National League Central. Will they be able to continue that streak here against Milwaukee tonight?
Big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And brought to you by the new Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. Monday Night Baseball here in Milwaukee, and Randy Wolf on the mound, coming off a very rough outing against the Pirates, but he faces the Reds tonight with impressive career stats against Cincinnati. 9-2 record, a 3.11 ERA, and looking for a bounce-back start to keep the Brewers hot here at home. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Another beautiful night for a ball game. And the red-hot Reds are in town, Rock. Yes, they've gotten great pitching this year. That's been the story. But their offense is well intact, and some guys putting together huge years this season.
Well, if you like offense, this is going to be a good series for you. 2 of the top offensive teams in all of the National League. The Reds #1. They've been scoring runs in boatloads. I mean, they have come up with some huge offensive games. They're second in the league in home runs, right behind the Milwaukee Brewers, 119, and Joey Votto. He is a Triple Crown candidate, certainly an MVP candidate, having his best season. And another guy that's been much of a surprise, a guy that the Reds really didn't know what they were going to get, Scott Rolen. He's going to be back today. He's been out for about a week and a half with a hamstring problem, putting up some incredible numbers. Could very well be the National League Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, Scott Rolen, an all-star this year. He is back in the lineup tonight. The Brewers and the Reds. Milwaukee coming off a sweep against the Washington Nationals. Can they keep it going and make a move up the National League Central Division standings? Stay with us. Plenty of power in this series here this week. The Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds, the top NL home run duos. Fielder and Hart lead the way right now in the National League. Then you have Joey Votto and Scott Rolen both in the lineup here tonight. And a couple of Cardinals on that list as well. Randy Wolf takes to the mound as the Brewers try to stay hot. They have won 6 consecutive games here at Miller Park. And the Brewers trying to make it 5 consecutive wins overall. Dusty Baker and the Reds sit just a half game back of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Central. The Cardinals are idle tonight. The Reds have hopes of going back to the top of the division standings. Here's Dusty's lineup. It's brought to you by Subway. Orlando Cabrera, Brandon Phillips, and Joey Votto at the top of the order. Scott Rolen back after 9 games missed with a hamstring injury. He's followed by Jonny Gomes, then Jay Bruce, and then it's Drew Stubbs, Ryan Hannigan, and Bronson Arroyo to face left-hander Randy Wolf.
Well, Wolfie making his first start against Cincinnati this year, but his career has been a good one against the Reds, 9-2. And a .311 earned run average for Randy Wolf against Cincinnati. That covers 16 starts.
Wolf is coming off a loss against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Set career highs in runs allowed and hits allowed. 12 runs, 13 hits given up by Randy Wolf his last time out. And that'll be a start he wants to erase quickly here against the power hitting Cincinnati Reds. Scott Berry is the home plate umpire tonight. The Welke brothers on the cornerbacks. Tim Welke is the crew chief, and Mike DeMuro at second base. Well, Ken Maka has seen his club win 10 of their last 14 games. They swept the Pirates here at Miller Park prior to the All-Star break, and coming off a sweep against the Washington Nationals. Cabrera pops it up. Fielder is back, and he wants it. That's out number one. Well, you've seen Fielder. Let's give you the rest of the Brewers defense. It's brought to you by Blaine's. Braun, Gomez, and England in the outfield. Joe England, his third consecutive start. McGee and Escobar on the left side with Weeks and Fielder on the right, and George Kataris catching Randy Wolf. We have seen some highlight reel plays by the Brewers defensively, specifically from center fielders. And Carlos Gomez has put a couple of demo reels together in the last series alone. Some great catches. And it's understandable why the Brewers have won 3 straight games to start this homestand.
Yep, good pitching, particularly starting pitching, and defense has been very good. Alcides Escobar in yesterday's ball game, a terrific play up the middle to get a force out at second base. When you're playing a team like the Reds, they can put up runs. You can't give them extra outs. Defense has to be solid, and starting pitching has to be good from the get-go. You don't want to fall behind these guys because their pitching's not bad either.
Yeah, that's really the difference in these two teams. As you check our weather, it's just a beautiful day in Milwaukee, turning into a beautiful evening here with the roof open. Phillips, a shot to Fielder. He gloves it. And it's out number 2. Prince Fielder taking a hit away from Brandon Phillips. So 2 outs, and here comes Joey Votto. Already matched a career high with 25 home runs. He is in the top 5 in all 3 major Triple Crown categories. 25 home runs. That leads the National League. He's 1 ahead of Fielder. And Votto comes in 4th in the league in batting average and 5th in the league overall in RBIs.
Now, when you score runs like the Cincinnati Reds, it can't be just one guy. Joey Votto certainly having a terrific year, but a lot of guys on this Reds lineup, they're having career seasons.
Right on the nose, right at Weeks. And a 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf. 8 pitches it took. Now the Brewers' turn against Bronson Arroyo. We head to the bottom of the first. And here's the lineup for Ken Maka. It's brought to you by Subway. Ricky Weeks, Alcides Escobar, and Ryan Braun at the top. Escobar back in the 2-hole here tonight. Prince Fielder, Casey McGee, and George Kataris in the middle of the batting order with Carlos Gomez, Joe England. and Randy Wolf rounding it out. And that lineup will face a 10-game winner already this year, Bronson Arroyo.
In his last 2 years with the Cincinnati Reds, a 15-game winner in each season. So he has been a pretty solid starting pitcher for the Reds, always able to eat up innings and make starts every time his name is called. Has had a good career against Milwaukee.
Last time he started, he matched up against the National Steven Strasburg, and Arroyo gave up 7 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Prior to that, he had won 5 out of 6. He's been one of their most consistent pitchers this season. Facing Ricky Weeks to start it here in the bottom of the first inning, and a strike on a bender to Weeks.
Arroyo, a .426 earned run average, and if you take 2 bad starts away from him, where he combined gave up 15 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings, it's much better than that.
Weeks pops it up in the infield, and it's Joey Votto who makes the catch for out number 1. Here's how the Reds line up defensively. They are back at full strength here tonight with Gomes, Stubbs, and Bruce in the outfield. Scott Rolen returns to the lineup after 9 games missed. Cabrera and Phillips, one of the best tandems at the Keystone you'll find. Joey Votto at first, and Ryan Hannigan catches Bronson Arroyo. Scott Rolen out with a hamstring injury, and it's interesting, Rock, that he missed 9 games but did not go on the disabled list.
Right, so Dusty Baker was a little bit short-handed on his bench. Maybe move him around a little bit. Maybe drop down some bunts, see if he's able to field his position. Well, you talk about defense. Cincinnati tied for 2nd in fielding percentage in the National League. They have been very good.
There's a bouncer right to Rolen, one of the better defenders at the hot corner, and 2 gone in the inning. For a scouting report on Bronson Arroyo, we go to Brewers hitting coach Dale Swing.
He basically goes out there and just kind of screws with you. You know, it's not nothing overpowering. He throws tops out about 89 miles an hour. He's going to drop down, throw sidearm breaking balls. Now he's come up with a changeup that he throws all the time, and it used to be a lot of breaking balls. He's basically going to try not to really get beat with his fastball and throw a mixture of his changeup and probably about 3 to 4 different breaking balls at you. And yeah, he'll do the same thing to left-handers too.
He'll throw the kitchen sink at you, and he'll drop down once in a while, change arm angles on you. He'll kind of rock back and give you the old Satchel Paige from time to time. So you never know what you're going to get from Bronson Arroyo. He's 9-6 career against Milwaukee in 17 starts with a .380 earned run average.
Well, he is an accomplished musician, and that's kind of what he does when he pitches. He just plays the tunes. You never know what you're going to get. As hitters will say, when Arroyo is on his game, he is a comfortable 0 for 4. Ryan Braun with 2 outs. Braun coming off a game winner during the last series against the Washington Nationals. It was a walk-off RBI single back on Saturday night, made John Axford a winner. Last night, or rather yesterday afternoon, the Brewers won 8-3 behind Dave Bush to complete the 3-game sweep of the Nationals. Casey McGee had a big home run yesterday. Fielder waiting to hit next. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ryan Braun, who starts the day with 16 home runs and 62 runs driven in.
He's certainly a guy that the Brewers are going to have to think up the middle into the opposite field. He will give you some pitches to pull. He's given up 15 home runs this year. He will show you the fastball. He'll challenge you a little bit with a fastball up and off the plate. He wants to get you out with a breaking pitch. He just threw Ryan a changeup.
And a fastball that is skied out to right. Jay Bruce makes the catch. Both pitchers off to a 1-2-3 start. And we head to the 2nd at Miller Park. as we head to the second inning. Yes, some Prince Fielder fans. Good crowd on a Monday night. Fielder hoping to wow them with another big night offensively. Randy Wolf facing Scott Rolen, batting in the cleanup spot for Cincinnati in his return. Some kind of year. Rock mentioned the comeback player of the year. He certainly is the front runner for that. 287 batting average, 17 home runs. He's driven in 57. An All-Star again this season. He played one game after the All-Star break, and this is his first game since that hamstring injury that knocked him out for 9 games.
And that's been the problem for Rolen the last few years. You know, back problems, a shoulder issue, and a hamstring this year. And he's in a pretty good lineup, and right in the middle of everything, in the cleanup spot. He's been very consistent this year.
Ball and 2 strikes on Rolen. And a cutter almost hit him. Now Rolen certainly the glue of a ball club. He is a great clubhouse presence, according to those who follow this club every day. Not to mention his skills on the field. And Wolf hits him that time. Similar pitch. This time Rolen just stuck his leg out and let it hit him. And he's aboard.
Yeah, not even close. Pitch before it was a cutter that was supposed to be on the inside corner. That looked like a 4-seamer that got him right above the thigh. Not going to hurt too much.
Now first base runner against Randy Wolf, a leadoff base runner for the Reds for Jonny Gomes. You know, back when the Brewers saw Jonny Gomes, he wasn't yet an everyday player. He was starting to show Dusty Baker he could be an everyday player at that point. But by all means in the starting lineup on most nights after the season he's put together. 64 runs batted in. He's tied for 7th in the National League in RBIs. He's actually tied with Ricky Weeks among the National League leaders in ribbies.
There's all kinds of very good offensive players in this series. Brewers and Cincinnati, top 2 offensive teams in the National League, and you'll see a number of Brewers and Reds in the top 10 in a lot of these offensive categories. Should be an interesting series.
Well, the Reds were shut out yesterday by Wandy Rodriguez and the Astros in Houston. The Cardinals beat the Cubs. It was a final at-bat win for St. Louis in extra innings. Felipe Lopez homered at Wrigley Field.
Kind of a bad break for Randy Wolf. You know that the Cincinnati team is going to face another left-hander. I mean, Wandy Rodriguez, similar style to Randy Wolf. So back-to-back days, maybe they will be able to get some better swings. We hope not.
There's a good pitch on the inside corner. 3-2 to Gomes.
That's one thing pitchers always look at. You know, they're going to make a start the next day. Who is that team facing today? Is it somebody different than my style, or is it similar? And Randy Wolf certainly could have gotten a better break.
And his former teammate, Wandy Rodriguez. That one is lined into center field, a base hit. So Gomes with a single and 2 on now with nobody out here in the second inning.
Yeah, Gomes had a good series in Cincinnati against the Brewers. 3 for 7 with a home run, and 1 for 1 tonight. 3-2 fastball. Looked like it caught a lot of the plate. Right down the middle and right back through the middle for Jonny Gomes. So first 2 hitters aboard for Cincinnati.
2 on, nobody out for Jay Bruce. Wolf starts him with a fastball strike. Well, Bruce, a second-year player. Good numbers. 261 with 10 homers, 39 driven in. And a good series against the Brewers back in Cincinnati. Had 3 hits in that 2-game set. He and Joey Votto both made a run at National League Rookie of the Year. The 2 left-handers. But both hit lefties very well, which makes them everyday players.
And they're very similar in styles. Votto and Bruce both take the ball to left field very well, with power for that matter. Well, you learn that when you hit in that ballpark in Cincinnati. Left-handers very easily hit home runs to left field. Doesn't take much to get them out of that ballpark.
And a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Beg your pardon, Bruce now in his third year. That Rookie of the Year run he and Votto had was back in 08, the year Giovanni Soto won the Rookie of the Year. Jay Bruce finished 5th in that Rookie of the Year voting. Votto was 2nd. And there's a base hit. Gomes charging hard. They will hold Rolen. And a fire to second. Gomes is back. So maybe the hamstring injury to Scott Rolen keeps him at third base for now. But the Cincinnati Reds had the bases loaded with nobody out to start this second inning.
Yeah, that's the other reason why you hold Rolen. Yeah, the hamstring issue, I'm sure, one of the reasons why he was held at third base. Because there's nobody out. You don't want to make the first out at home plate. Boy, another bullet off the bat of a Cincinnati hitter on a 2-strike pitch. Boy, Jonny Gomes with a 3-2 pitch back through the middle, this time on a 2-2 count. Jay Bruce right back into center field.
Well, after a quick 8-pitch first inning for Randy Wolf, he is in trouble here. Bases loaded, nobody out. A hit batter and 2 singles. And now it's Drew Stubbs, who is 0 for his last 20 at the plate. Rookie center fielder for a good part of the season was hitting leadoff, but his on-base percentage now at .305. Hitting at the bottom of the order.
And leads the Reds in stolen bases. Got 18 stolen bases, but really hasn't been able to get on base much.
Little half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Milwaukee. And it's 0-2 on Drew Stubbs.
That's a good breaking pitch down and in, and see clearly Stubbs went through.
And he got it. Randy Wolf backdoors him with a curveball. And a big strikeout early in this game as Wolf gets his first out on a strikeout and keeps the bases loaded for the time being.
Yep, got the swinging strike and a curveball down and in. This one a backdoor variety right on the outside corner. And Scott Berry rings him up. Now double play gets the Brewers out of this inning.
Well, Ryan Hanigan, the Reds catcher, known as a defensive specialist, but in 36 games this year, he's hitting .314. Again, that slow curveball, the gravity ball, finds the strike zone. Cincinnati's everyday catcher is Ramon Hernandez. Been slowed somewhat by a left knee injury, a little inflammation in that knee. There's a base hit to left. Braun comes in. Coming home is Gomes. The throw to the plate. Short hops Kataris, and Gomes is in there. And now Hanigan on his way to second base. So 2 runs in on a single by Hanigan. And the throw to the plate allows Hanigan to second base, which takes the Brewers out of a double play opportunity.
Hey, don't blame Ryan Braun for making that throw to home plate, because you figure you might have a shot. Gomes, a decent runner at second base, got a good jump off of second base. Hanigan got a pitch up. It was out away from him, up in the strike zone. That was the problem that Randy had in Pittsburgh. A lot of pitches at the belt. And because Ryan did not hit the cutoff man, both runners able to advance.
So 2 runs are in on the 3rd hit of the inning. And now the pitcher Bronson Arroyo will bat. Arroyo can handle the bat a little bit. He has 7 RBIs this year and hitting at 190.
Always want to hit that cutoff man. You want to make your throw as a one hopper. That was a tough hop for Kataris. You hit the cutoff man, and perhaps you have a decision to make. You might get the man at third base.
Second and third, one away.
You know, there's really not too many situations in a game. Maybe the winning run in the ninth inning, you might want to airmail one all the way into home plate, but always want to hit that cutoff, man. There's nothing wrong with, one hopping the catcher at home plate. When you do that, you hit that cutoff man, you're able to get some out somewhere else.
There's a strikeout for Wolf. Second out of the inning. Usually it's just the trajectory of the baseball that'll freeze a base runner.
Right.
Whether or not the cutoff man actually makes a play on it or not. That was an easy read that time.
Yeah, you get Jay Bruce. He's coming around second base. He sees that ball way up in the air. He knows he's not going to get caught at third base. So the Brewers working on that today before batting practice. Throws into the bases.
Now Wolf trying to minimize the damage here. A changeup to start it against Orlando Cabrera. 2-0 Reds. A hit batter and 3 hits in this inning. Wolf does have 2 strikeouts in this frame. Good pitch there, and it's 0-2.
Cut fastball, slider, whatever you want to call it, going down and in on Cabrera.
Well, Cabrera in the leadoff spot tonight. Brandon Phillips has been hitting leadoff. It's interesting that this Reds offense, they've done so much damage statistically for the year. But Dusty Baker admits, just like Ken Maka admits, that with a home run hitting team, there's a little bit of inconsistency throughout the season. Reds have been shut out a number of times. They put up gaudy numbers, but at the top of his order, it's really unsettled at this point.
Right. Well, it's because on base percentage hasn't been very good. Cincinnati's been shut out 12 times. That leads the National League.
Hard to believe that a team with the most runs of any in the National League been shut out 12 times.
Well, you rely on home runs. I mean, Brewer fans know that very well. When you hit home runs, you rely on the home run ball to score the majority of your runs, and you're going to go into the tank once in a while. And Cincinnati has experienced that as well. Cabrera with an on-base percentage under 300.
He got jammed, and a bouncer to Escobar. So the inning is over. Wolf minimizes the damage, but he does give up 2. The Brewers will have to play from behind here tonight. Prince Fielder ready to lead off when we come back. As we head to the bottom of the second inning, our Powerball home run leaderboard as it stands today. Fielder leads the way with 24. That's second in the National League. And 3 Brewers with 20 home runs at this point. As Fielder lines one to right, and it's run down by Jay Bruce. 1 pitch and 1 out for Bronson Arroyo.
They gave him the fastball, but took just a little bit off at a BP fastball. A wily old veteran out there on the mound. 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Prince got that one off the end. That's what he'll do to you.
So a quick out for Bronson Arroyo, and here is Casey McGee. What a day he had yesterday. McGee on base 3 times, had 2 hits, including the big 3-run home run in the 7th. That put some separation between the Brewers and the Nationals. This was in the 7th inning. At the time, it was a 2-run game. Powerball home run number 14 for Casey McGee. Over to Rolen. Like a vacuum over there. Gobbles it up. 2 outs for Arroyo.
And nice soft hands. He's got pretty good range, a terrific arm. But yeah, I would imagine with that hamstring issue, that range will be limited somewhat. Certainly a guy that can play shortstop at this level. See how soft those hands are. Ball rolls up the glove, still able to keep it in there and make a good throw to first.
Rolen traded to the Reds last year, kind of a deal that went under the radar. Cincinnati was long out of the pennant chase at that point in a deal with Toronto for Edwin Encarnacion. And of course, Scott Rolen reunited with his former general manager in St. Louis, Walt Jocketty, now the GM in Cincinnati. Boy, does that move look good right now for the Reds.
They just never know, right? Guy gets healthy all of a sudden. He's in a lineup around pretty good hitters. He starts getting pitched to, and look what he's been able to do, Scott Rolen.
0-2 to Kataris, and down he goes. A quick inning for Bronson Arroyo. 6 up, 6 down to start this game for Arroyo, and we are on our way to the 3rd. And by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Miller Park, Milwaukee. The roof is open tonight, and the homestand continues against the Reds. Cincinnati with 2 runs in the 2nd inning. And Brandon Phillips leads off. Long throw from Escobar. Wow, look at that arm. No bump in that throw from deep short.
And Brandon Phillips has seen 2 pitches tonight. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That's what you call being efficient. Had him played perfectly, had him way around toward the hole, and got it right there. Look at the throw. a frozen rope over to Prince.
With finishing kick. That's a long throw across the diamond. So here's Votto. Joey Votto is back and healthy and putting up huge numbers this season. Remember, it was here in Milwaukee last year where he left the ball club. He ended up being away from the team for a month. Had some depression, anxiety issues, and Votto has come back. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah,
he's been out there every day. He plays a good first base, and he is having a career season offensively.
Yeah, very good shooting the ball to left field. The Brewers have Escobar on the first base side of second base.
A 1-out walk. Our carsoup.com email the booth question from Tony and Racine. Tony wants to know what has turned the Reds into legit contenders this season.
Pitching. Their pitching's been terrific. Their starting pitching in particular. They have got some big time arms in that starting rotation.
Well, they have the kind of starting rotation that just about any given day you feel like a starter has a chance not only to win a game if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, but who knows, with guys like Cueto and Volquez, you might see a no-hitter on any given day.
Yeah. Well, their starters, I'm sorry, 36 and 26 this year, 10 games over 500. That's their starting rotation with a 4.11 earned run average. That's pretty good.
And because their starting rotation has been so good and going so deep into games, that only means the bullpen is strong as well. You say all you want about the offense, and the numbers speak for themselves for both teams, really. But the difference between these two teams at this point of the season has been the consistent pitching that the Reds have gotten this year.
And again, you hate to keep harping on it, but that Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, a legitimate bandbox. Very easy to hit home runs in that ballpark.
Shot to McGee, throw to first, not in time. Close play. That was in and out of the glove of McGee like a flash, and a good throw, but Votto just back. That would have ended the inning. Instead, 2 outs, and Votto still at first.
And another pitch up in the zone for Randy Wolf. Fortunately for the Brewers, it was right at Casey McGee. A little bit off the end of the bat.
And a close play, but a good call at first base. So 2 outs, and here's Gomes.
But when you pitch like the Reds have been able to pitch with that earned run average, I mean, in that ballpark playing half your games, that's something special.
And 2 of their original starters still on the disabled list. That's what's been so impressive about the Reds. Aaron Harang and Homer Bailey on the DL. 2 terrific rookies for Cincinnati. Mike Leake, who will not pitch in this series, and Travis Wood, who will pitch the finale of this series.
And the 2 guys on the DL with ERAs over 5, so they're not missing much.
The 0-2 to Gomes, right off the end of the bat.
Could it be a changeup curveball?
A curve?
Took a little bit off, and just off the end of the bat, stays alive.
Gomes hit last time up, came with 2 strikes. That one almost hit him. Gomes a single and a run scored in the second. Part of that 2-run inning. And the count goes full against Jonny Gomes. Now Gomes has provided the big punch for Cincinnati this year, especially big hits in the clutch. 3-2 with Votto at first. Wolf checks on him.
Yeah, last time a 3-2 pitch to Gomes, a fastball down the middle. They banged back into center field. Let's see what Randy Wolf and Tatarus decide to do with him here.
Votto takes off. Gomes into left center. That's going to get down a base hit. Votto will stop around second. And again with 2 strikes, Jonny Gomes comes up with a base hit.
That was a good pitch that time. Real good pitch. Well, visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the Instant 4-pack. Buy 2 Terrace Reserve seats and get 2 free. That's good for select games with your Instant 4-pack coupon, only from Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Yeah, that last cut fastball by Wolf, a good pitch, and he jammed Gomes, but Gomes strong enough to muscle it into center field. That's where Gomes makes contact, way down on that trademark, but strong enough to fight it off. That's what you talk about, getting in on the hands a bit, but Gomes with the base hit. He's 2 for 2.
You like how he pulled those hands through. Well, Randy Wolf has been in a lot of 2-strike counts today. He's given up 4 hits. All 4 hits coming with 2 strikes. That one misses down and away.
He's getting ahead in the count, but just not able to come up with that put-away pitch.
Jay Bruce singled his last time up. He's hitting .248 against left-handed pitching this year. Cincinnati, prior to the All-Star break, had dropped 4 in a row to the Philadelphia Phillies, and 3 of those losses came in the Phillies' final at bat. They lost 4 out of 5 before the All-Star break, as Bruce pops it foul. Since the All-Star break, Cincinnati is 6-4. They're coming off a series against the Astros where they won 2 out of 3. They were shut out yesterday 4-0 by Wandy Rodriguez and Strohs. But they have been at the top or near the top of the Central Division standings pretty much from day one. As Bruce hits one high in the air, center field. Gomes with room makes a catch to end the inning. 2 left on for the Reds. A scoreless inning for Wolf. Here come the Brewers in the bottom of the 3rd.
Do you believe in miracles? The Brewers do. The Brewers working with the Brewer Foundation and local charities to establish the Miracle League of Milwaukee. Marty Ronsky is a VP General Counsel with the Milwaukee Brewers on the board of the Miracle League. Tell us what this league is all about. It's for some great kids, right?
It is for some amazing kids, Mark. The Miracle League of Milwaukee is essentially an organization that will create a little league for kids ages 4 to 19 who have physical and mental disabilities. So kids who can't join easily their neighborhood or their community Little League programs. So this is a program especially for them.
Now, fans out there could donate to help this cause, and there is also a competition the Brewers are in for quite a big grant, and fans can help there too, right?
That is exactly right. There are actually two amazing ways that the Milwaukee community can help us right now. The first would be to go to miracleleaguemilwaukee.org or brewers.com/community and vote for our project. We are in a competition to win a $200,000 grant, and while every dime does count, it goes without saying that $200,000 toward building this field would be amazing. The second way that folks can help us out right now, we are in an amazing position through the generosity of two partners, the Werner Family Foundation and Quick Trip. We are in a position where every dollar donated until the end of August will be matched. And not just one for one, but for every dollar donated, we will have $3 toward our project.
You're aiming to start play in 2012. Quite a field and quite a complex being planned.
Yes, we are thrilled and very excited about this. We have, through the generosity of the YMCA of Milwaukee, we have just announced last week that we have a site that will be at Brown Deer Road and 91st in the city of Milwaukee. So we hope to serve kids from all directions in the Milwaukee area. And the complex will be the field, which is a specialized surface, so kids can move about in wheelchairs or walkers or whatever else carefully and safely. And we will have the field, we will have covered dugouts, we will have concession stands eventually, we will have stands for people to watch from, accessible bathrooms, etc. And we hope someday, in maybe phase 2, to also have a very accessible playground.
Marty Ronsky, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your terrific efforts.
Thank you so much for having me.
BA, I understand you're going to be part of a special event tomorrow.
Yeah, we have an event tomorrow that we honor and recognize all of the Brewers players' charitable causes and all of the sponsors as well that are involved, all their charitable activities. That's tomorrow at Harvey Keene Field. So we're looking forward to that event. I know Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder are in attendance. Craig Counsell will be the spokesman tomorrow, and the Miracle League will be a big part of that as well. And we tip our hat to Marty Ronsky and Teddy Werner. That's a great league, and we're behind it 100% here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, the Brewers are, it's incredible how many community things that they are involved in, charitable things, and it's I don't think if any sports team in the country does more in the community than the Brewers.
Randy Wolf goes down the line, and that is a fair ball. It'll be held to a single just past Scott Rolen.
Now that skunk out of the box. The Brewers with their first hit.
And it comes from the Brewers starting pitcher, Randy Wolf.
He continued to swing the bat well. Fastball up and away, and Randy able to get on top of it and shoot it down the left field line just out of the reach of Scott Rolen. Rolen playing off the line, and Wolf be able to get it by him.
We'll see if the Brewers can get a quick strike here. That is Randy Wolf's 12th hit. He's now 12 for 45 at the plate, and it gives Weeks a chance with 2 outs. Ricky's sitting on 20 home runs. Well, everything you want from a leadoff hitter and more. Weeks gets on base, his on-base percentage at .375. The amazing command of Bronson Arroyo. 24 strikes, just 2 out of the strike zone so far.
That is unbelievable.
And Weeks hits one hard. Deep center field. This is way back. Oh! Off the Miller right side. Ricky Weeks ties it with a mighty clout to center field.
Now, these are two teams where pitchers had better not make mistakes, and that was certainly a mistake by Arroyo. First mistake was allowing Randy Wolf to get the base hit. Second mistake, not locating a fastball. This one right down the middle of the plate. Looked like he took a little bit off of it. And Ricky, a monster shot off the Miller Lite sign out there in the scoreboard. Wow. They had no cheapie there. That ball got small in a hurry. That's a no-doubter.
That is up there in Prince Fielder territory as Ricky Weeks unloads number 21 of the year. That is at least a 440, 450-foot home run by Weeks.
Yeah. You saw the reaction from Ricky in the dugout. Sometimes you even surprise yourself at times as to how far you can hit the baseball.
Scott Rolen backhands one to end the inning. Robs Escobar of extra bases, but the Brewers get a quick strike. A thunderous blow from Weeks. Deep center field. And we're all tied at 2.
Top 4, a tie for the crew of the community this morning at Hellfair Field. Ryan Braun and Airtran Airways hosted the Big Fly Home Run Derby. Local media taking their swings at a softball, trying to clear that 200-foot wall. And in celebration of the event, Airtran will donate $10,000 to the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee. Brock, you're in the local media now. Were you invited to take your hats?
That's a bad word. You know, I'm not actually media.
Mark called you media.
I'm a former player, Mark.
Oh, no, you're media, pal. Wear it proudly.
It's just a joke that we former players like to jab at each other from time to time. No, I was not invited, Mark. They thought that perhaps I would have had an unfair advantage, but little do they know.
Just keep them guessing, right?
Right.
2-2 ball game as Ricky Weeks goes deep in the third inning with 2 outs to even the score. As Drew Stubbs leads off for Cincinnati, former Texas Longhorn. Well, Weeks, this crowd still buzzing about that home run to deep center field. You just don't see many hit up there. We usually would get the instantaneous measurements from Mike Vasallo, the laser measurements, but he's been a little gun shy lately, I noticed.
I know.
Seems like he missed a few by 50 or 100 feet at times, and I think that's got him a little rattled.
I think the whole process needs to be reevaluated, I think.
They've got the chart out. And Ken Spindler and Mike Vasallo and John Steinmiller. John doesn't look very interested, actually. There's a strike call, so Randy Wolf, for the second time, strikes out Drew Stubbs looking. His third strikeout. AT&T Trivia tonight. Who was on deck when Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run? Number 715 as an Atlanta brave, breaking Babe Ruth's record.
Can I blurt it out?
Well, you're in the media now. You can do whatever you want. You have the power of the microphone.
Yeah, Mark stung me pretty good there, didn't he?
Now you're trying to get back in the truck. Is that how it works? Somebody's got to pay. Hannigan drove it a pair in the second inning. He had the big hit that put the Reds on the board. A 2 RBI single with 1 away in the inning. By the way, that week's home run gives the Brewers home runs in 15 consecutive games. 26 home runs during that 15-game stretch. Brewers had a streak like that in 08. They homered in 20 consecutive games. Little jam shot out to Ricky. And that's the second out. I remember Prince Fielder going up off that Miller Lite sign. That was back in August of 09. 465 feet they measured. That was actually a little above the
that went over
Miller sign. But Ricky Weeks up there in uncharted territory for most big league sluggers.
Funny thing is, he does that just about every day in batting practice. About a 65-mile-an-hour fastball in batting practice, maybe 60 miles an hour. A little tougher to do that when you don't have the velocity. Brewers now have hit home runs in 16 straight games. Check that, 15 straight. And 26 combined over that stretch.
And leading the league with 129, they lead the Reds. So you got a couple of clubs that score a lot of runs, they hit a lot of home runs. But it still all boils down to the pitchers. Bouncing ball to McGee. That is a fair ball. Casey's throw is true. And that's a good inning for Randy Wolf. 3 up and 3 down. The Brewers and the Reds, game 1 of this 3-game series. Ryan Hannigan with a 2 RBI single in the second inning. Ricky Weeks answered a quick strike in the third after Randy Wolf singled with 2 outs. Weeks with a long home run to center field to tie the game at 2. Cousin Subs game reset. This is only the 3rd meeting between these two clubs, and this is the first of 12 remaining games between the Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. So we'll be seeing the Reds quite a bit over the final couple of months of the season, including the final series of the year. 3-game series in Cincinnati to wrap up regular season play.
It could mean something. Brewers now 6 games under 500. They've done a nice job. They were all the way down to 12 games under 500 at one point at their lowest level, but they're starting to play some pretty good baseball, putting things together.
Well, the Brewers start the day 8.5 games behind the Cardinals. Cardinals are idle tonight. St. Louis, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and then the Cubs. Ryan Braun flew out to right his last time up. Arroyo was able to get a fastball a little bit by Braun. Got jammed and skied it into right field to end the first inning.
That's the thing, you get the steady diet of off-speed pitches, different arm angles. He really hasn't done that yet. Dropped down with 2 strikes. He'll throw one of those frisbee sliders at you. He'll drop down, change that arm angle, and mess you up that way. But he tries to sneak that fastball by you that tonight has really only gotten up to about 88 miles an hour. Folks with the Reds were saying he's been throwing 91, 92 at times.
The 2-2. And that one misses down and away.
There's a 91.
Reaching back for a little extra. Braun, career against Arroyo, is hitting around 250. He does have a home run against Bronson Arroyo. And Ryan draws the walk, so Arroyo's first walk allowed, and Braun is aboard to start this 4th inning. AT&T Trivia, who was on deck when Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run, and it was Reds manager Dusty Baker playing for the Braves at the time, and it's Al Downing of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that great call by Milo Hamilton, who's now the radio announcer for the Houston Astros. Fielder is drilled, so the hits keep coming as Fielder gets hit by another pitch, and that has become a scene that Ken Maka has had enough of.
52 hit batters now for the Brewers, and that was a cut fastball that got Prince on the back of the arm, on the tricep. That's not going to hurt. That's about as easy as it is for Prince. Not much velocity on it. 52 overall, and you can see the top 2. Marlon Bird's been drilled a little bit.
Two on, nobody out, and McGee can do some damage here. Well, it had to feel good for Casey McGee yesterday, belting his 14th home run of the year. Going to go all the way back to the beginning of July to find his last home run. That was against the St. Louis Cardinals. So he was in the middle of a long home run drought. 58 runs batted in for McGee. Pulls that one to short. Cabrera to Phillips. The turn in time for the double play.
I think Casey got on top of that high fastball, but just couldn't center on it. Got it down to trademark a little bit, and that's about as easy as it gets for a double play. Cincinnati turns that one easily. Cincinnati's 95th double play this year. Around the middle of the pack in the National League, along with the Brewers.
Well, they're middle infielders. Well, all the way around their infield, they are airtight. And a former Gold Glover in Scott Rolen, a Gold Glover in Brandon Phillips. Cabrera, an excellent defender at short. Votto is a plus defender as well as a first baseman.
Yeah, Cabrera with 10 errors at shortstop, which is pretty good. That's 95 games. And no other infielder has more than 5. So you're right. These guys are pretty solid.
Phillips an all-star this year. Has a Gold Glove to his credit. Orlando Cabrera, a Gold Glove winner with the Montreal Expos way back in 2001. Had another one with the Angels. Pitching and defense. That's no surprise.
And nobody can talk like Brandon Phillips.
No, he'll talk to anyone.
Blades of grass.
Guitarres takes a strike. And it's 3-1 on George. A curveball on a 3-0 pitch.
We're all very familiar with George Guitarres. In fact, that he can hit home runs. We're also going to waste one. Give him a fastball right down the middle.
George takes a strike out on the outside corner. So Arroyo has come back. He's worked it full. Ryan Braun at third. The Brewers had 2 on with nobody out. A double play from McGee, and that is going to be a scoreless inning for Bronson Arroyo. He gets through the mess. Still tied at 2. We head to the 5th inning.
An instant oil change junior announcer by picking up an entry form of participating Valvoline instant oil change locations. Call 414-902-4000 for details.
Back at Miller Park, we are in the 5th inning here, and the Brewers and the Reds, first game of a 3-game series. Cabrera into right. Inglet makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for Randy Wolf. Well, fans, Deuce Barnes is a Little League player who has been around Major League Baseball, I think, since he attended his first spring training game when he was about 2 weeks old. He's now 11, and he's answering your questions about the Brew Crew. Head to the Kids Corner on FoxSportsWisconsin.com to see this week's interview with General Manager Doug Melvin. And you can submit a question of your own to Deuce. He got some time with the general manager, huh?
Yeah. How do you do that?
I don't know. It's big time. Wonder if he got any good nuggets about the trade deadline coming up.
We couldn't. You and I couldn't.
No, he shut us down. We got the Heisman on that one, didn't we?
Got hand checked.
We tried. Not something players deal with. The trade deadline approaching. I think if you're a player, you almost have to look at it as a compliment when your name surfaces in trade rumors.
Yeah.
Somebody wants you. At least you're a desirable commodity, if you want to think of yourself as that way.
It should never be a negative.
Brandon Phillips strikes out. Well, speaking of, Avery Barnes had this from Doug Melvin. Take a listen.
What is the day of the trade deadline like for you?
In some cases, it could be very hectic and very busy, and you have to be ready at all times. I've made trades before at midnight. Stay up late because you don't want to miss a phone call in case there's a trade that could help your ball club in the present and the future. So you always have your phone available on that final day.
There's Avery Deuce Barnes. Now, look, I'm sure Doug Melvin sat down. He thought he might ask him like what his favorite color was or something. And he's hitting him with the good stuff. Way to go, Deuce.
What's your favorite color? How much money do you make? I always get that when I go to a Q&A.
It's good. So you can check out Deuce Barnes on the website, foxsportswisconsin.com, the Kids Corner. Shift is on for Joey Votto. Not the extreme shift we saw with Adam Dunn, but a shift nonetheless as Votto.
Interesting for a guy that shoots the ball around the diamond as well as he does, but I guess when he hits the ball to the opposite field, it's always in the air. The Brewer outfield straight away, but on the ground they are really shaded to pull, not as much as they were for Votto's last at bat.
Randy Wolf strikes him out, came back with a fastball. So Wolf has retired 7 in a row. He picks up his 5th K. And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, all tied at 2. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade. All tied at 2 here at Miller Park. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and Carlos Gomez swinging away at pitch number 1. Fouls it away. Now the Reds and the Brewers with some chances early. Cincinnati scored twice in the second, but they left 2 on, then left 2 on in the third. Brewers got a 2-run home run from Ricky Weeks in the 3rd inning. Then had 2 on with nobody out in the 4th and could not score. A key double play against Casey McGee helped Arroyo get through that inning. And Gomes again down on strikes.
Hey, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner is 4 stools short in Wisconsin Rapids. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. 4 stools short. I like it.
It's a good one. It's memorable.
Wisconsin Rapids.
Joe Inglet with 1 away. Inglet getting a lot of playing time here lately in the absence of Corey Hart. 3rd consecutive start in right field for Inglet.
Progress coming along nicely for Corey.
I saw Corey before the game, and the swelling has gone down a great deal. Corey actually threw the baseball today. He said he's not to the point where he can unleash one, but he did a little light tossing. It's on his right hand. It's being called a wrist injury, but he said the pain and the issue is more with the thumb than the wrist. Although it goes down into the wrist. He basically jammed that thumb. He ripped his fingernail off, and that was because of the impact. And a lot of swelling in that area, the thumb and the wrist, and he thinks maybe a return by the end of this series. He's hoping for. He still is unable to grip a bat just yet.
Did you ever lose the thumb fingernail?
I did.
Brutal.
It just peels it right off.
Hurts. Just the thought of it makes you squirm.
And Corey showed us all earlier today. We all had to go have a sit down after that.
Show and tell.
Splash a little water. So Corey was talking about his name and all the trade rumors. He said he wants to stay in Milwaukee a long time. He doesn't want to leave. Doesn't want to go anywhere.
I'm sure the Brewers would like him to stay.
Gomes makes a catch for out number 2. Time now for our U.S. Cellular text to vote question for tonight. We are polling our daily audiences for the next 2 days, and we'll give you the cumulative results tomorrow night. The question for the next 2 days is, who has had the more surprising season? W for Corey Hart, X for Joey Votto. You can text your answer to 234-234. W or X. We'll give you tonight's results in our Brewers Live postgame show. That's a good question. Votto is up there in the Triple Crown categories. I think you could put Votto and Corey Hart statistically among the league leaders, and I think Votto getting some MVP consideration, you would imagine, if he continues like this.
Well, Votto hit .322 last year with 25 home runs. Corey Hart, a down season for Corey.
Well, the idea of a Triple Crown is out there this season, especially with Miguel Cabrera in Detroit. He has had some kind of year. Cabrera had all those troubles off the field last season. He cleaned up his life in the offseason. He stopped drinking alcohol, and look at the year he's put together. He lost about 15 pounds.
Been since 1967 for a Triple Crown winner in the American League, Carl Yastrzemski. Been since the 30s in the National League.
Randy Wolf strikes out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Bronson Arroyo.
Top 6 tied at 2. Scott Rolen will lead off the inning for the Reds. Scott missed the last 9 games with a hamstring injury. Wanted to make sure that manager Dusty Baker knew he was ready to play today, so he sent Dusty 2 messages through the trainer, and then just to be sure, told Coach Billy Hatcher to tell the skipper he was ready to play. Dusty had made out 2 lineup cards, and guys, he was very happy to turn in the one that had Scott Rolen's name on it.
Well, everybody knows Dusty Baker is a +1 manager. You tell him you're ready Monday, then he means you're ready Tuesday. But not in this case. He was anxious to get Scott Rolen back. Let's face it, the Reds have been short-handed without Rolen, who did not go on the disabled list but was not available for 9 games.
Well, Dusty Baker knows how to manage veteran players. Had a veteran team with the Giants, had a veteran team with the Cubs, which was kind of a surprise when he got hired with Cincinnati a few years ago, a very young club. And now they've started to mature a little bit. They've got some veterans.
Rolling out to Escobar for the first out of the inning.
I guess you can handle Barry Bonds. You can handle anybody, right?
That's for sure. Baker was a rookie, a manager of the year.
Sammy Sosa. Some of baseball's best, and perhaps some of baseball's most challenging players to manage. Certainly not putting Scott Rolen in that category.
He's easy to manage.
Right. We're talking about veterans.
Gomes lashes another one. That's his 3rd hit. A hitting machine, Jonny Gomes, putting together one of his best years of his career. Say you can bid on exclusive Brewers items during the Brewers Community Foundation game and Ultimate Live Auction. Tune in on August 10th to watch the Brewers battle the Diamondbacks and bid on items in premium packages. To view auction items, log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the Brewers tab. That is a commercial-free day, August 10th.
There's a fantasy camp going to be auctioned off on August 10th on our broadcast.
I already signed up for a fantasy camp, so I'm not eligible, I guess.
No.
I'll be there.
Good.
We got a big contingency coming from the Lone Star State. That one's hit well in the gap, left center. Gomez tracking it down, makes it look easy out there. Carlos Gomez showing great speed, and the 2nd out of the inning.
Carlos Gomez getting a great jump. He's playing straight away in center field and takes a nice angle at that baseball. Ryan Braun at this point knows he doesn't even have to worry about it. Gomez going to get it. He goes everything from straightaway left to straightaway right. Straightaway right.
Thanks, Elmer. Hunting wabbits.
Yeah. Right in the middle of that, I knew I was in trouble. He knew what I meant.
Sure did, Walk.
Straight away right. Oh, boy. I'm going to hear about that.
Drew Stubbs with 2 away and a swing and a miss. Boy, Wolf has had his number so far. We'll see if he can finish it off here against Stubbs, but he has struck him out twice and looking on both occasions. Runner goes. Pitch is high and outside. To throw to second is late. Gomes got a big jump. Not a bad throw from Kataris, but no chance to throw out Jonny Gomes.
Yep, off-speed pitch. George had to wait for it, and by that time, Gomes able to get in there easy. Not a very big lead, but a great jump. He went on first move and able to steal it.
3rd stolen base for Gomes. And he's in scoring position for Stubbs, rookie center fielder. The 1-2. That one's hit hard. Right field. Back is England. He's got room. Randy Wolf is through the sixth. Wiki Weeks is coming up, Rock. He'll lead off when we continue. A 2-run homer that tied it in the third.
On the board first, Ryan Hannigan with a base hit on the curveball from Randy Wolf. Ricky Weeks with a home run at about 450 feet to center field, tied it up, and after a shaky second inning, Randy Wolf has really been dialed in, getting ahead in the count, picking up some strikeouts, and doing a nice job keeping the Brewers in this ball game.
Wolf has given up 2 runs on 5 hits. Meanwhile, Bronson Arroyo has allowed just 2 hits here tonight, and they came back to back. Wolf and Weeks, and Ricky's home run tied this game. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th, top of the order coming up. 3rd time through the batting order against Arroyo. And a chopper over to third base. The Gold Glover Rolen makes a play for out number 1. Well, we are on a no-hitter watch. Tampa Bay's Matt Garza is through 8 innings against the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers started Max Scherzer in this game. He actually went 5 2/3 of no-hit ball. But Garza's through 8. He is 3 outs away from another no-hitter in Big League Baseball this year.
Something else, isn't it? Wow.
We're also watching Alex Rodriguez, who is sitting on 599 home runs. He is in the lineup tonight. He was hit in the hand yesterday. And we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. But the no-hitter jumped to the top headline at this point.
Just 1 walk. That's it.
Another bouncing ball. Cabrera just gets Escobar. Well, he goes down the line quickly, and Cabrera had just enough for the out.
Really don't have time to really be lackadaisical or play back on it, because Escobar gets down that line quickly. Always hustling down the first baseline, and Cabrera just barely able to get him. He comes in on it, really no sense of urgency, and maybe half a step able to get him. A slider from Arroyo. Boy, he's mixing them up good tonight.
Well, it's no coincidence that Arroyo is pitching so well with a much improved Cincinnati defense. The Reds had Alex Gonzalez playing shortstop for parts of 3 years, but he was oft injured, and finally found an everyday shortstop in Cabrera, veteran shortstop, which is what Dusty Baker wants in the middle of his infield. Shattered bat. Cabrera fires to first, and Braun is retired. 3 ground ball outs, and we are headed to the 7th inning, all tied at 2. Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. By Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Tomorrow the Reds are here once again. It'll be game 2 of the series. We're on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Wednesday's game not televised. You can catch Bob Uecker and Corey Provis on Brewers Radio. And then Friday, the Brewers hit the road to Houston. It's our Miller Lite What's on Tap. All tied at 2. Good ball game tonight at Miller Park. 7th inning. Ryan Hanigan batting 8th in this Reds lineup will lead off. He had a 2 RBI single in the 2nd inning. Really the only blemish for Randy Wolf. It was part of a 3-hit inning for Cincinnati. Wolf has given up just 5 hits total. Well, we're keeping an eye on Matt Garza in St. Pete at Tropicana Field. He'll be headed to the 9th. We are rolling and recording, so we'll bring that to you.
Yeah, 4-0 lead for the Rays. So the game pretty well in hand. That's not an issue for Garza.
Casey McGee gobbles it up, and Hanigan is retired.
Interesting thing about Matt Garza in that game, his last time out against Baltimore, he got rocked. He had 7 runs against the Baltimore Orioles, who have the worst record in baseball.
It's just been a so-so year for Matt Garza. He has won 10 games, but an earned run average around 4.3, 4.4. He is towing the rubber for the 9th. So as the outs go by, if the no-hitter stays intact, we'll bring them all to you. And something about Tropicana Field. Remember, it was Edwin Jackson, a former Tampa Bay Ray, who no-hit his former club earlier this year as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, those Rays are involved in a lot of these things.
Arroyo bunts it too firmly back to the mound. The 2nd out of the 7th inning. Take a look at some of the no-hitters this season. Dallas Braden's perfect game was against Tampa Bay as well. That was on May 9th. Ubaldo Jimenez, the first out of the chute against the Braves. Roy Halladay, a perfect game against the Marlins in Florida. And then Edwin Jackson against the Rays in St. Pete. And remember, it was Mark Burley who fired a perfect game against Tampa Bay last year. So something about those no-hit games and the Tampa Bay Rays over the last couple of seasons. And of course, the one that did not make that list, the famed Andres Galarraga, Jim Joyce. Near perfect game in Detroit.
Poor Jim Joyce. One of the best umpires in baseball, but he will always be remembered for that. Ubaldo Jimenez, a 275 earned run average all of a sudden. He got hammered.
England's got a long way to go, and he makes a catch for the out. So we'll give you the no-hitter update when we come back. The Brewers coming up.
for the postgame show coming up. And Jerry, Randy Wolf coming off his worst performance in his career. What a bounce-back game here. One of his better performances this season.
Well, he's been battling, wanting to be consistent. Tonight, what he's done is really used his fastball and been able to throw the breaking ball for strikes and staying ahead of hitters. No walks. One walk, I should say, keeping the Brewers in the ball game.
All right, Brewers need to grab the lead here. Prince Fielder set to lead off at the bottom of the 7th inning. Our post-game instructional, well, I'm guessing right now, offense, defense, pitching, something along that line. We'll have it all covered for you, Brian.
And some big stories brewing all across baseball as well, as Alex Rodriguez is in pursuit of number 600 career home run, and Matt Garza working on a no-hitter in St. Pete. And we can tell you that Matt Garza is 2 outs away from a no-hitter. He gets Don Kelly the first out of the 9th inning. Courtesy of our friends, as Prince Fielder sends one to center field. Stubbs makes the catch for the out number 1.
He just missed it a couple of times, both times off the end of the bat. That was a slider that time. First time up, a fastball, kind of a dead fish fastball by Arroyo, and off the end of the bat to right.
Well, Casey McGee with one away here in the 7th inning. In that Garza no-hitter, he has faced the minimum. It's not a perfect game, though, because he gave up a walk to Brandon Bosch. But it was immediately wiped out on a double play. So Garza, who is around the 115, 118 pitch mark right now, has faced the minimum. Let's take you back to St. Pete on an 0-2 pitch. A strikeout for Matt Garza. He is now 1 out away from a no-hitter. Well, how about that?
There's a lot of them. A lot of near misses, too.
That was Gerald Laird taking a called strike 3 for the 2nd out of the inning. Tampa Bay, one of 3 major league franchises without a no-hitter. The Rays, the Padres, and the surprise,
the Mets,
the New York Mets. Casey McGee off the end of the bat, and Stubbs is going to run it down. That's out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Bronson Arroyo.
Hitting a lot of off the end and just a little bit on the trademark for Brewer hitters tonight.
So 2 outs, and here is Kataris. And a bouncing ball. And the inning is over. All right, we take you to break to St. Pete, courtesy of Sun Sports. Dwayne Stats with the call.
The Reds are in town again tomorrow. The game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. It'll be another nice day, although it will be a little bit more humid, partly cloudy and warm. First pitch temperature around 83.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. Again, Rock, let's take a look at the final out. Matt Garza has thrown a no-hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays tonight.
Yep, pinch hitter Ramon Santiago on a 1-1 pitch and faces the minimum. First no-hitter in franchise history for the Rays. Incredible stuff for the pitchers this year.
The year of the pitcher continues. That is number 5. The 5th no-hitter, including those 2 perfect games this season. And the Rays have been involved in 3 of those now. Carlos Villanueva is on to pitch for the Brewers. Randy Wolf is out. Wolf goes 7 innings. Villanueva working the 8th in a 2-2 ball game.
Now pitched a scoreless inning against the Nationals on Saturday. Villanueva with 59 strikeouts and just 47 innings of work. And how about the effort by Randy Wolf tonight?
Unfortunately, will not factor in the decision tonight. 7 innings. He gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, which came on 1 swing of the bat by Ryan Hannigan in the 2nd inning. Drove in 2 runs with a single.
Yep, gave up 5 hits, did Randy Wolf. 3 of them came in that 2nd inning.
Just 1 walk for Randy tonight and 5 strikeouts. Brandon Phillips is 0 for 3. Boy, go figure, on a night when we talk so much about the offense and 2 of the most dynamic offenses in the National League. Individual players having career seasons and a stat sheet full of superlatives offensively.
Right.
It's an old-fashioned pitcher's duel here at Miller Park.
That's why you don't play the game on paper. You got to go get them. Play 9 innings, see what happens, and the pitchers have dominated so far.
It's a leadoff walk given up by Villanueva. Phillips is aboard.
So the 3 guys for the Brewers, starting pitchers that had such a rough time of it on the last road trip, Dave Bush, Manny Parra, and Randy Wolf. Good turnaround starts for all 3 of them.
Well, dangerous hitter coming up. Joey Votto with a runner at first. Phillips has 11 stolen bases this year. One thing about Brandon Phillips, he's been caught 8 times, and you don't know how much he's going to be running in front of Joey Votto at this point.
Yeah, middle of the order coming up, big run producers. You don't want to make any outs in the bases. Better make sure you're able to get in there safely. Phillips has virtually no lead at first base.
Votto against right-handed pitching this season, a .348 batting average. And 22 of his 25 home runs have come against right-handers. Villanueva, not your prototypical right-handed pitcher. Matter of fact, Villanueva is more effective against left-handers than he is right-handers. As you see the splits for Joey Votto. Villanueva's best pitch is his changeup. Votto takes a strike, a fastball that time. Opponent's batting average against Villanueva this year, left-handed hitters hitting at .227 this season.
And that's pretty good. That's because of that good changeup that Villa throws. There's a lot of them to the lefties. Got to keep it down to Votto. Stays back well.
And a swing and a foul tip. Kataris hangs on. That's a strikeout.
The old equalizer. Yeah, when you look at the splits, I mean, pitches for Villanueva, it's about 25% across the board. Fastballs, curveballs, sliders. That was a slider right there, and changeups. So you never really know what you're going to get from Villanueva. That was a slider that time.
Well, a big out to get for Villanueva. And here is Scott Rolen. Rolen just coming back from a hamstring injury. He's not running well. That one's hit hard to center field. Back is Gomes at the track. He's got it. Carlos just fetches another one in center field. He does all of his work early to make it look easy at the end.
Yeah. It gets you excited, but he's able to get back there. He does it so much differently than Jim Edmonds. Carlos plays much deeper in center, still able to get back on the baseball. And because of his speed, he can come in and take away base hits in front of him. Edmonds plays a lot more shallow and is very good at going back on the baseball. But they both get the job done.
Gomes with that great range in center field. 2 outs in the inning. And here is Jonny Gomes. And a spinner for a strike. Gomes has been a tough out. He has 3 of the 5 hits for the Reds. As the hard throwing Braddock surfaces for the first time this homestand. Braddock has been on the shelf, not on the DL, but not available with a little stiffness in his shoulder.
Well, the Brewers satisfied that he's ready to go. The last thing you want to do is throw that guy out there not feeling well and risk further injury, but apparently he's okay. That's good news.
Jonny Gomes, one of the best run producers in the league. Up there with 2 outs. Speaking of Tampa Bay Rays, Jonny Gomes, teammates with Matt Garza back in 08 in Tampa. One and 2.
Good changeup. You can't walk it across any better than that. 81 miles an hour and right on the outside corner. A beauty.
See what Villanueva has in mind here. A ball and 2 strikes. Gomes has been dangerous with 2 strikes tonight. 2 of his 3 hits have come with 2 strikes as they check on Phillips.
We've got a couple of pitches to play with here. How about bouncing that slider in the dirt? You don't want to leave it upstairs.
Well, Gomes does not walk much. He's a free swinger at the plate. He's up there to hack, which makes him a pretty good matchup for Carlos Villanueva. Bottom of the order coming up for the Brewers. 2-2 ball game here on the top of the 8th. Villanueva trying to keep it that way. And time is called and granted. And wow, that was a late timeout granted by home plate umpire Scott Barry, and it gave Jonny Gomes a pretty good insight in what Villanueva wants to do with him.
Yeah, throwing the slider. It was a good thing that time was called because it was out of the strike zone. Being a little bit upset. Really didn't need to give Gomes time. Actually, I think that all that was going on at the plate was the reason why he didn't throw it over the plate.
Now the bullpen rocked the last 14 games, a 2.27 ERA and a 4-0 record at this point. Everybody has done their part. And it has been the strength of this ball club during this stretch. Brewers have won 10 of those 14 games. Here's the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Gomes is down on strikes. Villanueva went right back to it. And the Brewers are out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The bottom of the order coming up, all tied at 2 at Miller Park. This 8th inning, Carlos Gomez leads off. Bronson Arroyo back on the mound. A 2-2 game. Arroyo has now retired 11 straight since he hit Prince Fielder back in the 4th inning. There has been nothing going on for the Brewers since then. And the only runs came on a 2-run homer by Ricky Weeks. Back-to-back hits in that inning, and that's been all that Bronson Arroyo has given up. And look at the efficiency of his innings tonight. A bunt. Arroyo fires, and just in time to get Gomez. Bronson Arroyo, fielding his position well, gets the lead out of this 8th inning.
And no margin for error with Carlos Gomez running down the line. Had to barehand it. Well, he gets that ball just maybe a foot or two more toward first baseline, and that's a hit. Well, you really can't, you don't have any chance of bobble or any good decision whatsoever with Gomez going down the line.
That's 12 in a row retired by Arroyo, and here's Joe Inglet. On a night when Matt Garza has thrown a no-hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays. A pitcher's duel here in Milwaukee between two of the best offensive clubs in the league. Edmonds readies himself for a pinch hit appearance. Pitcher spot is due up next.
At the point of a last at-bat win for somebody.
And the Brewers hoping to give John Axford a lead and give him a chance at a save in the ninth. Joe Inglet is 0 for 2 tonight against Arroyo. A couple of outs in the air. That one slices into shallow left. Gomes is there for the out. 2 gone in the inning. Game reset brought to you by Dodge Ram. This game 1 of 3 against the Reds. It was Ryan Hannigan, the backup catcher for the Reds, with a 2 RBI single. Then Ricky Weeks, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. A monster shot to center field. Randy Wolf, 7 innings, 2 runs. Pitched very well tonight. Bronson Arroyo is through 7 2/3 with 2 runs allowed as well on just 2 hits. And a crowd of nearly 32,000 here at Miller Park.
And it was Randy Wolf who extended the inning and allowed Ricky Weeks in the 3rd inning to hit that 2-run homer.
Well, Wolf with a 2-out single. And then Weeks banged out that big home run, 447 feet officially, off the Miller light sign in center field. Well, Edmonds still bothered by the sore Achilles. Both feet, actually. But he's available to pinch hit, not available to play in the field. He said running the bases gives him the most trouble. He'd like to be able to jog around here. He had a big home run back on Friday against the Nationals. That one's hit high and deep to right. Fair or foul? That one hooks foul.
Wow. Upper deck. You don't see many up there. You really don't. Foul by plenty, but got the upper deck, the terrace level.
That's right where Hannigan wanted it as well. Looked like Edmonds knew it was foul the whole way. It was about the same spot he homered on Friday. That 2-run home run in the 7th inning. That one's hit high and deep. That one's got a chance to go. Edmonds has given the Brewers the lead. Jim Edmonds, number 8. What a homestand he's having. And with one swing of the bat, Milwaukee is on top.
Well, Same pitch, different result. Able to keep this one fair. This one out over the plate just a little bit more. Came right back with it. This one down in the zone, and another no-doubt home run by the Brewers. 2 home runs, 3 runs on the board. And the Brewers just continue to hit the long ball.
Jim Edmonds comes through in the clutch. And a 3-2 Milwaukee lead here in the 8th inning. Back to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks.
Yeah, Rowe tried to come inside on Edmonds. He didn't get it in, and he got it down. He wanted it up and in. Edmonds made him pay. Boy, he's locked in.
I mean to tell you, and unfortunate he's unable to play, unable to start because of the injury to his Achilles. But he's swinging the bat as well as he has all year right here during this stretch. It started in Pittsburgh, and it's carried on into this homestand. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. And Weeks is down on strikes. But the Brewers have the lead as Jim Edmonds, at 40 years of age, comes off the bench and goes boom. For tonight, we're polling our audiences the next 2 days. Who has had the more surprising season? You can text your answer to 234-234. W for Hart, X for Joey Votto. We'll have tonight's results for you in our Brewers Live postgame show. You can also send E for Jim Edmonds, because Edmonds gives the Brewers the lead here. 3-2 our score as we head to the ninth. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming text question tonight from Bill in Lake Mills. Do you think John Axford has put himself in the Rookie of the Year race?
Why not? Sure. He's in there. There's been some pretty good rookie performances this year, but he's got to be considered.
Well, let's face it, there aren't any rookie closers right now on an everyday basis. And Axford, who is just coming off his first blown save on Saturday, did pick up the win and is now 6-1, but sitting on 14 saves this year. Facing Jay Bruce to start it. The numbers for Axford.
Yeah, he did blow the save, but he picked up the win. 6-1 out of the bullpen. And a 2.81 ERA. Right back on the horse here today.
0-2 to Jay Bruce. The 1-2 pitch, and down he goes. Axford with a breaking ball, and Jay Bruce is rung up.
And he knew it. He was looking for something in the fastball vicinity, and he got the curveball. And plenty of the plate, and Jay Bruce knows it right away. That's the difference between John Axford and a lot of rookies. They'll throw that curveball, even though they are thrown in the mid-90s.
So one gone here in the ninth inning. Axford will face Lance Nix, who will pinch hit for Stubbs. Brewers get a Jim Edmonds pinch hit home run to take the lead in the eighth inning. The third pinch hit home run of the year. Edmonds joined Escobar and Jody Garrett with the pinch hit home runs this year. Axford 2 outs away from a Brewers win. There's that breaking ball again. Strike one to the former Brewer, Lance Nix.
When you throw that curveball first pitch, you have that hitter in a defensive mode the rest of the at bat. He's not sure what he's getting.
Strike. Fastball 95 miles an hour. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and he takes it because of that first pitch curveball.
Right back to the heat. Nix didn't chase. Carlos Villanueva, I beg your pardon, worked a scoreless eighth, gave up a walk but struck out 2, and went through the heart of the order. Votto, Rolen, and Gomes to get through that eighth inning. And now Axford trying to nail it down here in the ninth. Swing and a miss. Nope, a foul tip. The at-bat continues as Nix just got a piece.
Big, sharp, downward breaking curveball, and Lance Nix out ahead of it, but just able to get the end of the bat on it.
A new life for Nix. Ready for the 1-2. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. '27-year-old John Axford. That one is hit hard but foul. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lance Nix was a Brewer for parts of 3 seasons.
Just couldn't stay healthy.
Much of his time as a Brewer either on the disabled list or in the minor leagues. But he's found a home here in Cincinnati. Guitar sets up inside. And Nix got a piece of that one. Well, he's hanging tough.
Getting pretty good swings on that curveball because John Axford hadn't been able to throw a strike to the fastball with Nix. Actually, the second strike was a fastball, but after that, seems to be overthrowing the fastball.
Again, a high fastball from Axford. And Nix has worked it full.
And if you're Lance Nix, what are you looking for? I think you look curveball here because John's having a tough time with the fastball now. And throwing the curveball for strikes.
Fastball lined into right center. That ball is well hit, and it'll go to the wall. Bounces off the corner. Gomez up with it, and Lance Nix with a pinch hit double. So the Reds have the tying run in scoring position. And what an at-bat for Lance Nix. You got to tip your hat to him there.
He hung tough. Got a fastball down and in. A lot easier to get that fastball down in the zone at 95 than it is upstairs. And able to golf it out there into the gap in right center. Tying run at second base with 1 out.
So a good battle between Lance Nix and John Axford, and Nix picks up the 1-out double. The Reds are at the bottom of their order. Ryan Hanigan will hit with 1 away. The pitcher spot is due up next.
And nothing but right-handed bats on Dusty Baker's bench.
Hanigan had the 2 RBI single in the second. Chris Heisey will hit next, the rookie. Nix has good speed at second. And Bender buckled his knees. 1-1 the count on Ryan Hanigan.
Throwing a lot of strikes with that curveball. Good pitch on a 1-0 count.
A fastball, pop foul. In on the hands of Hanigan. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. None of these Reds have seen John Axford. He was in Nashville when the Brewers faced the Reds last time through back in May. It was shortly after that that Axford assumed the closer's role for the Brewers. A ball and 2 strikes on Hanigan. Tying run at second. And he lays off, and that just missed. Went with a slider that time. It's 2-2.
And he took it because it was a slider. It was fooled him. Didn't miss by much off that corner. Man, how do you take it?
Nix with a big lead at second. And the 2-2 bounce to third. McGee's got it. And now they've got the runner in a rundown. Nix. McGee will put the tag on him. That is a base running mistake by Lance Nix.
Oh, what dreadful base running that is. Where are you going when his ball's hit the third base? Goodness gracious. Well, that's a big play for the Brewers. Now the Reds need an extra base hit to tie the game. Boy, a big base running blunder. Where in the world are you going, Lance? Terrible base running, and the Brewers will certainly take that as a gift. Caught in no man's land and an easy out.
And instead of 2 outs and a runner still in scoring position, now 2 outs and a runner at first as Hanigan reaches on the fielder's choice. And a quick visit to the mound for Rick Peterson.
And a great job by Casey McGee getting that out without throwing the baseball. If Nix is able to get into a rundown, Hanigan might be able to get into second base. And if he was able to do that, it'd been no harm, no foul. But because Casey ran him back to second and was able to tag him by himself, Hanigan had to stay at first.
So a couple of moves here for Dusty Baker. Paul Janisch will pinch run at first base for Hanigan. And Chris Heisey announced as the pinch hitter. 2 outs. 9th inning. The Brewers lead by a run. Heisey fouls it away. Jim Edmonds, the pinch hit home run that gave the Brewers the lead. With 2 outs in the 8th, Edmonds goes deep. And now Axford trying to nail it down against the rookie Heisey. He went, says Scott Berry. 0-2 the count on Heisey, and now they come to their feet at Miller Park. A swing and a miss. Axford strikes him out. And the Brewers win it tonight, 3-2. What a ball game here at Miller Park. A couple of big home runs, just 3 hits in the game, but 2 of them long balls. Ricky Weeks and Jim Edmonds Axford with save number 15, and the Brewers a winner tonight against Cincinnati.
Well, what a ball game, as you mentioned. You talk about coming into this game, all we talk about is all the offense, all the home runs, but the pitching was the thing that was the shining star tonight. Only 5 runs between 2 of the top National League run-scoring ball clubs.
Jim Edmonds goes deep with 2 outs and 2 strikes and a solo home run that gives the Brewers the lead. He is Menard's player of the game, and we hope to hear from Jim Edmonds coming up on Brewers Live, which is coming up right now as we kick it out to Craig Kashawn and Jerry August.